Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome back to another World of Tanks news episode with your host, Great Taz. Now let's get this video rolling in 3, 2, 1, roll out. Hello, everyone. Great Taz here once again, and here's what we have. This has been a week of news. Earlier on Monday this week, they announced what the changes coming to 1.9 would be, and we did a video for that, which appeared on Tuesday. Today, at the current recording of this video, it is Wednesday, March the 25th. So 2 days later, Wargaming has added more information. Well, first off, let's do little other things real quick. There is a new style for the SU-130 PM, and it's called the Altieri Fox. All right, and honestly, it looks like they just went very, very simplistic on this, because actually it looks like the Super Conquerors also identical to the Super Conquerors that you can get from Battle Pass. Alright, they just took a camouflage net and laid it on top. This is a very simplistic way to give it a 3D style. Now the gun might be a little different, but I'm not quite 100% sure without looking at the original. But still, it's a very simplistic, and it removes the snow leopard style, which I think is cooler anyways. So there is that. Alright, so back onto what the real thing is about. They have changes coming in 2020, and they're giving us an outline. Right here is, if you come to the website, I'll put a link to this directly in the description, and you'll see it's saying about spring sprung, and there's new seasons for tanks. Alright, there's a lot going on. As you can see, there's new balance steps. They're going to do some new blueprints, something with the blueprints. The special spells, a whole new crew 2.0, the special spells also including HE cells, a new equipment setup, new ranked battles coming in 2020 and 2021. It's going to be 3 seasons this time, and we'll get into that in a minute. Some vehicle rebalancing and the 10th anniversary and some other stuff. So the first thing they start talking about is the new balance and the next steps. We discussed it says yesterday's article. That was actually Monday's article. That was 2 days ago. It wasn't yesterday. So they're a little off on that, I think. It might have been yesterday's, but Tuesday's. And I might have got the video out on Tuesday, but I'm pretty sure I recorded it on Monday. Anyways, so there's some stuff there. Then you could go ahead and check that video out. Card in the corner and link in description. All right, blueprints, very popular feature. Many players are using them, but the biggest issue, and this is one I have currently, however, there's still some issues that need to be resolved. For example, if a tree has some nation has some already research, but you still have national blueprints, you can't do anything. This is one of the problems we're working on, and we're thinking about solving it, and many benefits for everyone in case blueprints will continue to develop. So basically, if you have the U.S. tree completely researched, and you have, let's say 75 of those, they're useless. Well, here's the thing about that. Are they going to add new trees to the tech tree? Maybe. Maybe not. Are they done adding tanks to the game? Definitely not. This has become the world of premium tanks, so they're definitely going to add premium, but are they going to add tech tree tanks? That is the ultimate question. If they are, you're still going to want to hold on to some of those, because that's going to help you speed up the ability to get through tree lines. Special shells. This is true. They have the ultimate advantage. Whose subtype of vehicles are good dynamics and good handling benefit most from premium shells. However, these shells make well-armored vehicles with supposedly good survivability suffer, and which in turn means the impact of the well-armored vehicles are reduced. Yes, but they've done a lot of armor buffing to counter this, and it made it where standard rounds are useless. Our current main goal is to give these vehicles more weight in battle and make them more important to their survivability. So they're trying to bring back the heavy armored tanks. Again, the problem with that is the premium shells, and the problem with that second problem is that means You can't pen them with standard rounds. You have to turn around and use special rounds or premium rounds or gold rounds. On the Sandbacker, they tried decreasing it. It received well. If we separate this particular change from the new balance changes, we still have a lot of related shells. For example, HE shells need reworked. All right. They want to make them more as they stay down here, they want to make them more predictable and understandable to players. I kind of like the unpredictability in the damage range, but it's still kind of a hard solution to fix. There's a lot to it. Artillery, they're not removing the stun mechanic. They're going to check the settings of the stun system. Stun as a mechanic will not disappear, so the stun mechanic is not moving. We're not going to go back to armor-piercing shells like they used to be in the good old days, which was beautiful. You could take in T92, drop an artillery round on a mouse, and destroy it in one shot because it penetrated the top and did massive damage. Now, my problem with still... some of this is like in stuff like that. Already shells generally come from a top-down angle. They would just shoot right through the tank from top to bottom, so they wouldn't completely destroy a tank. So putting some realism with that in. Maybe if they have minor explosive heads on them, yes. Crew 2.0 is a complex system, and this is one of the things I'm not liking. Had I read this earlier, what they're going to do. Developing concerns of implementation. As soon as we have an acceptable solution, both players will definitely have the opportunity to try out all the possible changes on the Sandbox Server. We plan to launch attention around the summer in 2020, and at that point have a redesigned crew, and if you like it, we'll continue the appropriate conversions, command mechanics, and aspects of the feature. Version 2 crew true that you experience on the Sandbox server is nothing more than experiment test. Our ideas. Please note that any proposed changes may not make it to the final iteration and may be released completely format. Now, the Sandbox is not coming up until the summer, so some of the stuff they're talking about that you experience is not going to be right. All right, with all that, we want to implement a new entity, the unit, in this. Right here, I've read through this, and we'll go through this. It will comprise of 4 crews. Each commander will be trained to a particular vehicle. All crews within the unit are united by a nation and vehicle type. For example, medium tanks of Russia. Units have levels that determine how many perks a unit commander can learn. Each commander will have their own set of perks and skills. In fact, the crew can be assigned vehicles plus premium vehicles. Now, here's my thing. This new crew skill they're talking about reminds me a lot of World of Warships. And here, as you can see, it goes down different treks, lines. It just doesn't make sense in World of Tanks. So these so-called special crews, these counselors who are strength commanders. The perk system is significantly reworked to include more perks, which with each level, the perks will be divided into 5 branches, like here. Except for this is only 4 branches, like he said, And then some of the perks will reassemble old ones, situational perks which will be added that will reflect players' heavier perk that speeds up reloading when the vehicle durability low. They already have that kind of, it's called Adrenaline Rush, and a total of 35 perks are planned, 10 which have alternate. And again, it also looks so much like World of Warships, and I really don't like it, honestly. I mean, you have these different things here, different abilities on World of Warships. You have a total of 4 trees, and each tree has a total of 8 in it. So you have 32 different choices right here, and then you have 8 in the very bottom. All right, and I think this is the max you can get on World of Warships is 19. I'm not very super adverse into this, but you get 19 points. So that takes 1 point. That takes 2 points, that takes 3 points, and that takes 0.4 points. I have used up 10 points just going down to the bottom of a tree. But the thing about it is once you unlock this one, then it unlocks tier 2, and then it unlocks 3, and then it unlocks tier 4. All right, so you can mix and match as you go in World of Warships, but I still don't like that idea. Once it takes a lot more time to figure out, and you got to read. The main role, a crew makes the gameplay more enjoyable, but does not provide a considerable advantage. Diversity will increase. The strong perks will be used situational. Again, I'm not liking this. It makes me think I'm playing a World of Warships all over, and I actually like this style, the current style, and I think it would also work on World of Warships a little bit, but again, everything's not based off the commander, and that's what they're trying to do. The commander doesn't have all the skills. There's individual people in the tank, 5 of them, sometimes 6, and that's you got like 8 in the freaking T92, but that is basically where all your skills come in from those individuals, not the commander saying, oh, I'm skillful at reloading artillery. No, you're commanding. You generally don't do that. Anyways, equipment, they want a diversity of equipment. They're tired of identical standard setups. It makes things, yes, very standard, vanilla, pigeonholed type of thing. And that's also what the whole new HE thing is going to do. I see this crew thing becoming another pigeonhole things into stuff. I'm really not liking it. All right. We think that vehicles should have certain types, equipment types. For example, one gun handling, one another concealment, and another or defensive equipment. And you're going to literally just, it's already a identical standard setups. If you're going to give heavy armored tanks an extra defensive equipment slot, you're going to still end up with the same basic setups. You're not going to really change much what's going on here in Wargaming, and I don't think of that. All this will be tested on Sandbox Server again. The problem is people are having a problem paying 200 bonds to for their improved, and I think that should stay. Honestly, you're paying bonds to get it. You shouldn't be able to. What they don't want is the people to be able to remove their gun rammers and remove gun rammers around real easily without having some, drawback to putting it on a tank, making you actually decide, making a real good decision. And I think that should stay. I don't think they should take the 200 bonds away. I really don't think they should pigeonhole tanks into certain play styles again here. If I want an E100 that can be as big of a DPS machine as I possibly can while ignoring its defensive capabilities, I should do that. If I want to have it a walking pillbox, I should be able to do that. And you can do that currently now. And if I wanted to just, play a sniper role and hide in the back, you can do that now. Not that it's the most useful version to have a sniper E100, but still, I'm not quite overly sure on how this is going to work out, and we'll see once they implement the Sandbox Server. We'll be doing a video on that too. The new ranked battles, there will be 3 seasons this time, depending on your results in all 3. You can earn the ultimate award, another tier 9 tank. This is exactly like they did with the 2019-2020 version, except for they didn't announce the tank until right before season 2 of the 2019-2020 one. So they'll probably do the same stinking thing. They're probably not going to announce it. You're probably not going to see anything on the tank until probably the end of season 2. They're not even going to let anything leak, at most likely. So we did learn about the current one probably towards the end of season 1 last year, and it was not sure what the tank was going to be. So this is an option to leave only researchable and rank battle. Reward vehicles earned from activities in the global map and personal missions shouldn't be allowed. I kind of think that should go into stuff like, I think there should be special modes. Yes, it'll kind of increase sometimes, but you got a lot of new players going into some of the modes in the game, like Frontline, and they only have 1 or 2 tier 8 tanks. And then you got these other people that have, literally every premium tier 8 tank in the game. Then they have all the other tier 8 tanks in the game. And it really makes, I think it kind of makes me, because I don't have all the premiums, but it kind of makes me look at Frontline as a world of premium tanks. Because if you look at it, all you got is Progettos, the ERB 75, Lowe's, and tanks like that are just exactly that, a premium tank. You don't have a lot of tree tanks in there. So it's kind of thing that kind of needs to be issued. I think there should be like a click, an option to click somewhere to say, play in a battle, set me up for battles only with standard tree tanks. But since they're removing some, that might not quite happen. Vehicle rebalancing, this is a big issue right here. This year they're going to continue rebalancing what we worked in 2009 for popular vehicles. They adjusted the Leopard, the STB-1, and another tank. I can't remember what it was. It was they did 3 medium tanks, and they adjusted them somehow a little bit. Now they're going to adjust the performance of the E100 and the S4. The German branch is not going to only rebalance the E100, but they're going to balance everything that leads up to it. So the 3601 Heavy, the E75, 3601 Heavy, the Tiger 1, the Tiger 2, and then the E75. All right, don't know why they put them in that order. That's kind of weird. Then the Soviet Union for the IS-4, they're going to do the KV-3 and the KV-4 and the STI, which all lead right up to the IS-5. So they're going to increase the mechanics of those tanks also, all right, along with the line. And then the U.S. branch, they're also going to do the E5, which has needed it since the last time they nerfed it. When it went to an HD model, they accidentally gave it too big. They gave it a buff, an unexpected buff. And then they took that unexpected buff and removed it and then nerfed the tank too. It used to be the original, one of the best heavies for hauled down, and now it is no longer. So they're going to do the T-32, at least tier 10, T-32 and M103 and the T-110 E5. They're going to buff those a little bit. It doesn't look like they're going to mess with the T-29. Looks like the T-29 is pretty well balanced as a tank, as I can tell. All right. We're consistently working on weed vehicles and more way to effectively stop them more effectively when they're hit. They're so hard. We're also thinking about options to rebalance them. Players have a hard time hitting the wheeled vehicles, so it should be fixed in the first place. The effect of the damaged wheeled vehicle is minimum, and the inefficient effects are overall maneuverability. My biggest thing is, and it came around when the wheeled vehicles came in. I don't know how many people actually use auto aim, but take a second and click on an auto aim at a tank. And even if it's not a fast tank and it's it's slowly moving, your auto aim target automatically moves right to the back. So your tank to the engine deck, or the opposite direction where it's moving. That's where it moves. It don't no longer aim to the center of the tank as it should. It aims at the back of the tank. All right, 10th anniversary is coming up in April. All right, and they're expecting some large celebrations. We'll see what that is. Engaging events and huge amount of game content. 5 thematic stages, each of them corresponding to a milestone of World of Tanks, which left their marks in the hearts of players. Veterans will smile to remember good old days. Novices will be surprised to learn some of the curious facts about the project. Together, the 5 stages of the anniversary will demonstrate how much World of Tanks has changed and grown over the past 10 years. I expect that the one they did, the little version of the game that they had where you could play the old style games, will be back when this comes out. Do you plan to pardon players banned? They are going to pardon some players. I don't know why they would, but I mean, if you're cheating and abusing the system, you shouldn't be allowed to use the system. Other things, the battle formats, they're not for team clashes. They're not going back to this 7 tanks at 54 points. They're going to see 7 tanks at 70 points. It's no longer, will not be used for the new esports, but it will be for Watt Sports for amateurs. So, game events overreaction. Due to recent denial of service attacks seriously affected the schedule some game events. So for the good players, we had to move events. The choice was simple and cancel some of the events overlapping. We chose the latter, and it will not happen again in the future. We're planning on new activities for clan players and particularly random battles. The Bond Shop, they're talking about updating it. Will be updated once every 6 months. We'll update the shop this year, and we'll use the start of the new rank boon as a reference. All right, so they're going to be changing the tanks in the pawn shop, and they're going to try to do it every 6 months, which is good. I don't think they should leave it as a long set of tanks. So All right. How and when to fix transparency issues when you can't fit. Oh, this is another thing that you shoot at edge of a rock and it blows up something or not there, or you go up a spot which your tank should be able to climb and it just starts sliding down. They say this is a somatic issue connected with using third-party technology in our engine. The issues arise when different techs are interacting. We had them before 1.0, but they're less frequent. We're working to the fix, but these issues also require some participation from the owners of the techs, and it takes time. So overall, the big things coming in 2020, hopefully, they said they were going to do this last year, and it failed. We'll find out, and hopefully it will actually come out this year, that the E100 and the IS4 get buffs along with the E5. All right, some rebalancing for their trees and stuff. Ranked battles, the equipment, and the crew. Again, I'm still having a dreaded mark of what it's going to be like World of Warships, and I'm not liking it one bit at all. So we'll see how this turns out in the sandbox. We'll do a video on this, and then we'll probably do a video directly on equipment. Since I don't do a lot of ranked battles, we probably won't be doing much of that, and then we'll see videos on the rebalancing in the future. But overall, there's a lot coming in 2020, just like they promised a lot in 2019. Do not hold your breath that everything that in this article is actually going to happen, because they have a tendency to say, hey, we're going to do this, i.e. the E100 and IS4 rebalances from last year, which were supposed to happen, that didn't. So just keep everything and take a grain with salt and hope and pray that some of these things actually come through. But with that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to get on out of here. But before we do, if you like this video, please make sure to click a like, and then you also can comment below. If you did not, you know what to do. If you're not a subscriber, please take a moment to subscribe, clicking the notification bell, changing it from occasional to always, to get instant notification of all my new uploads. With that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Great Taz. We'll see you on the battlefield.